Have you ever stopped to ponder the magnitude of global poverty? It's a question that can be both unsettling and enlightening. There are countries where poverty is not just a concept, but a pervasive reality. For instance, South Sudan, a nation born in 2011, has the highest poverty rate in the world. Over 80% of its population lives below the poverty line. Similarly, Burundi, a small, landlocked country in East Africa, has a poverty rate of nearly 75%. The country's economy heavily relies on agriculture, which is vulnerable to climate change and weather vagaries, thereby exacerbating the poverty situation. In the Caribbean, Haiti holds the unenviable position of being the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, with a poverty rate of almost 60%. Political instability and natural disasters have played a significant role in the country's struggle with poverty. On the other side of the world, Afghanistan, despite decades of international aid and intervention, has a poverty rate of over 55%. The prolonged conflict has left the country in a state of chronic instability and poverty. These are not isolated instances, but represent a global issue. Poverty is a complex problem with roots in economic, social, and political dimensions. It's a cycle that is difficult to break and requires comprehensive and sustained efforts. However, it's not all bleak. There has been progress. Countries like China and India have made significant strides in reducing poverty over the past few decades, but the pace of poverty reduction worldwide has slowed since 2015, further exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic and other shocks. Climate change, too, poses a significant threat to poverty reduction efforts. It disproportionately affects the poorest and most vulnerable, who have the least capacity to adapt. How then do we tackle this enormous challenge? The World Bank Group, which consists of 5 institutions, is working to reduce poverty and promote shared prosperity in developing countries. They use a variety of strategies, including tailored approaches, data-driven policies, and investing in preparedness. The goal is ambitious: to end extreme poverty by 2030 and promote shared prosperity by boosting income growth for the bottom 40% in every country. The World Bank Group focuses on country-led programs to improve living conditions, drive growth, create jobs, address inequalities, and support stable economies. To summarize, the issue of global poverty is both vast and complex, with countries like South Sudan, Burundi, Haiti, and Afghanistan having the highest poverty rates. However, concerted efforts are being made to reduce poverty and promote shared prosperity. It's a challenging task that requires a multifaceted approach and the cooperation of all stakeholders. Remember, progress is possible. Countries have lifted themselves out of poverty, and with sustained efforts, we can hope for a world where poverty is the exception, not the norm.